Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another Shonen Ronin. Well, not so much podcast. We have more of a reaction and response video for you today. Right now, I have Calliope with me. Say hi, buddy.
Hello, the name's Calliope. It's not Calliope. It's not Cantaloupe.
Yeah, I've been trying to say Calliope's name more correctly lately because I've been missaying it for years on. But now that after I heard a hoodie just butcher it for his picture and his portrait, I was like, oh fuck, I can't. I can't keep doing this to him. But yes, we are here to sort of react to Gigguk's new video about My Hero Academia fights are actually quite dull. So, this is trash. It's very bad video.
There's been this whole trend of My Hero Academia is getting there's oversaturated, but what's really being oversaturated is bad analytical videos. I'm not in any way tired of seeing My Hero Academia analysis. I'm overtired of seeing My Hero Academia bad analysis. Come on, what is this? What is this bullshit?
Boy.
It just sucks. Come on. I want good content, not bad content. The problem here is we have Alexander on Twitter saying, I didn't want to make a video on Bakugo because, the oversaturation. But no, you're the only one who can make a good video on Bakugo, so do it.
It's true, too.
We don't want we don't want a film theory video on Bakugo. We want Alexander going just deep into what is Bakugo as a character.
Oh god, I just remembered Film Theory actually uploaded about Bakugo. Oh no.
Let's pretend they didn't. Yeah. Have you ever seen a bad video on My Hero Academia from Pause and Select, Ember,
or
Lobster Magnet?
Matey. Even Matey does good My Hero Academia content.
Matt Wiz makes some good videos on My Hero Academia. He convinced me that Stain is actually okay. I still hate the Stain arc, but Matt Wiz convinced me maybe I just didn't look deep into it enough. Maybe I was wrong.
Matt Wiz and Crash Dwarfs just do good shonen videos in general. They're very good boys. I'm glad we have them. But yes, so with that preamble out of the way, so Gigguk's video on My Hero Academia, it is not well researched, it's not well thought out, it's not very helpful, and he claims in his video that this is sort of him rambling, which is technically not any different than anything else he's ever done, because he's not really the researching type. We come to Gigguk more for comedy.
Do you guys know that sometimes he has people ghostwrite his videos? I've been hearing that recently.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Maybe he didn't even write this video. He just had someone write it for him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I mean, that might be wrong, but it's probably true.
Well, whether it's true or not, the fact of the matter is we don't particularly look at Gigguk in an intellectual light. We come for him more for comedy purposes. But even if this was a ramble on his part, it's not a good ramble. There's several things I want to address in this Gigguk video. First thing I want to address how just wrong he is about sort of Hunter x Hunter and Shonen in general. I want to address why this video is not helpful to our community or Shonen, and I also want to address the sort of mindset he's going into with this video. And this is a mindset that is prolific in the Western anime culture and is also just sort of not. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's very much just a culture of ignorance based on preconceived notions of shonen based on what they've been exposed to. So yeah, with that preamble out of the way, again, Calliope, I'm going to start this video, and yeah.
Stop me if you ever heard this one before. My Hero Academia
is a good show.
So Gigguk starts off this video where he's saying that My Hero Academia is a good show, but the title is controversial in the sense, so he wants to show that he's actually a fan and he's just analyzing it with love. But I've written enough scripts to know this is just, you have a controversial opinion and you just don't want to have people write mean comments about how you're wrong. It's just a defense mechanism here. That's all it is.
I mean, I didn't pick up on that as much. But maybe I was just blinded by my very bad by his very bad analysis. But sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Continuing on.
I just think it's a way to be controversial and not at the same time.
Haven't considered that yet, but okay, I can see it.
So I haven't watched any Gigguk's videos on fights, analyzing other fights, but I'm assuming they're not up to par compared to other people who analyze fights. Like, take, for example, Kato, and maybe even Nino. I think Nino did a good job with his video on fights. And
Nino's video was more brushing the broad strokes of like what makes the fight sort of interesting in sort of like a question response sort of way.
Okay, these are more like specific fights.
Yeah, but Kato's video was more in depth about writing is from a much more narrative standpoint. But the thing we're trying to say here is we're about 30 seconds in the video. Gigguk's fight analysis is not good. Again, Gigguk has never been good at analyzing things, but yeah. All right, continuing on.
Is that when comparing this show's fights to the hype battles seen in similar shows, My Hero Academia fights can actually seem a bit dull? Whoa, before you unsubscribe and smash that dislike button, let me have a chance to explain myself.
Okay, wait.
Oh, I didn't watch this video, but he's acknowledging the fact that this is exactly why he started the video off this way, because he knew people were going to dislike it, so he's defending it like, I mean, this is just like the fact, but I still like the show. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. This is definitely that thing. It's like it's particularly annoying too because like you can't just have an opinion. You have to be like ironic about it. I don't know.
I mean,
like, this is just a personal thing I want to stop on, but it's really irritating.
I mean, it's self-aware, but at the same time, like if you're self-aware, don't do it.
Oh. Well, that laugh. Calliope always brings the laughs for me.
Like this is just him SEOing the shit out of this video. Like, there's nothing to it here.
Oh, god damn it. Okay.
I don't know if you guys knew, but I didn't like Gigguk.
Yeah, so here, Gigguk is here comparing, My Hero Academia's fights to other fights on the basis that, My Hero Academia fights don't really have any sort of inherent selling point. So he's comparing it to, like, some of the more famous fights like No Name versus Liu Lang from Sword and the Stranger, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and all these other fights we know in anime history. But he's saying is that like My Hero Academia fights, they're very straightforward, very simple, and inherently that they don't have any appeal. But so basically what he's doing, he's basically taking the most like hype fight in My Hero Academia, All for One versus All Might. And he's saying that, like, this fight is dull. This is what he's saying. He's saying the fight is dull. But he's trying to say it in a coaxing way that, like, he doesn't inherently like the, I guess, appeal to it. But Gigguk's issue here that can be really easily resolved, if you just cut the bullshit, is that he can't analyze fights. And he clearly doesn't understand the selling appeal of My Hero Academia fights. So My Hero Academia fights are not about the sort of glorification of violence. My Hero Academia fights are supposed to be quick, efficient, and realistic. And this is something we see time and time again and it's quoted time and time again in later arcs, in the beginning arc, when they're learning about heroism, is that you can't get into a giant battle and just call yourself a hero. You have to. Your goal is not to fight. Your goal is to save people.
This isn't like people out. Their pride is on the line. This is like, no, they have to be a hero. So it's not going to be some drawn out fight. It's going to be quick and to the point, is what you're saying.
And he's just going on because like My Hero Academia fights are meant to be quick and to the point. Like, you have lives to save, and if you get into a big battle, like city destroying battle, what's going to happen? You're going to cause public damage. You're going to kill people. You're going to cause a massive public outcry because now you just caused millions of billions of damage, and that's not how All Might became All Might. He became All Might because he solved problems quickly, efficiently, with minimal loss of life. And that's why he's the best hero. He's not the best fighter. He's not King of the Ring. He's All Might, the hero who saves everybody. So this criticism of his just doesn't work because he either doesn't understand the appeal of My Hero Academia fights and is trying to like rail against it, or he just doesn't like it inherently. So
I also hate this line. God, have I broken down different ways to make a fight? Like, come on, Gigguk. Really?
Yeah,
are you? Did you really have to do that? You have to.
I'd say you suck. Oh my God, no.
Like the entire basis of his
sucking
points
something.
here is I broke down fights in the past, so clearly I know how to do it in this video.
It's the epitome. It's the epitome. They say hubris comes before the fall. Well, I guess we are his fall. Oh well. Moving right along.
In contrast with Hero Arca, let's forget about that final beautifully animated moment for a second, okay? If you actually break down a lot of the action, the fights in Hero Arca are far more simplistic and bog standard. You don't think of beautiful choreography, original action directional, game-changing tactics. The philosophy is go beyond plus ultra, a mantra to go past your limits to emerge victorious, which is dangerously close to the cheap arse pulls we would usually criticize in other shonen titles.
Yeah,
he's just showing like fights that are meant for like the rule of cool, but this is My Hero Academia, where you're supposed to be a hero. Like, you're not supposed to be cool. You're supposed to save people.
Okay, so at 1 minute and 52 seconds into the video, he finally gets to the point where he said the fights are dull because they have very simplistic strategies. And again, we've just sort of debunked this, but like in particular, when he says this, he's also showing Deku versus Bakugo, the first fight, which is the de facto example I go to for how My Hero Academia makes very simple fights interesting. So in the very first Deku versus Bakugo fight, Deku tries to take a swing at Bakugo, and obviously he misses, but he misses because Bakugo uses his arm cannons, his arms, to leap over Deku and fire like a shot at his back while maintaining his momentum and leverage. Now, in other series, this kind of thing is like supposed to be a very big deal. Like if you look at something like Sawada Tsunayoshi in Hitman Reborn, it's like part of his entire training arc is that he has to learn how to use the X burner. So he wants to shoot a giant flame out of his hand and create a massive attack. Simple enough, but the propulsion sends him flying backwards into a wall. So what he has to do is that he has to use a soft flame for stabilization and use a hard flame to fire the attack. And that's why it's called the X-Burn, because it makes a cross shape. Gigguk is coming into this mindset where he thinks fights are closer to more of a sport. And this is getting back into the mindset with the anime community and Gigguk. They only understand
things as commodities.
Calliope, we can't be making that joke right now. That no one's gonna get that. Stop. No.
You see, in My Hero Academia, fights are not commodities where you just spectate it for pleasure. This is inspirational. Yes, you got it. Yeah, this is not this is a real life military action. You just had to be brisk.
Oh my god. But Calliope's right. He knows where I'm going with this. He's viewing this from more sort of a sports-centric view, where fights are meant to showcase, strategy, depth, forward planning, but in a different manner than say military strategies, where the object is to get out quick as possible. So it's almost like Gigguk didn't actually pay attention. It's almost like Gigguk did not actually pay attention to Bakugo's fight. The funny thing is, he's comparing it to Hunter x Hunter, they're not the same thing. But when you think about when you think about Calliope,
when you think about it, the Hunter x Hunter and My Hero Academia fights are the closest that they could be. Because, think about in this fight, Midoriya versus Bakugo. This makes me think of the fight where Killa is just fighting a simple opponent in the Greed Island arc. It's just a side character to the villain. And he has yo-yos. It's a simple fight, there's nothing to it. But he uses his blind spot to wrap around a tree with the yo-yo and just hit him from the side. And that was a really simple exchange. But it just worked. That reminds me of this fight here.
The object is not to beat the shit out of him. The object is to win.
He brought up the Uvogin fight earlier, which, yeah, that's like the most sport-like fight you can have because Uvogen's just like having fun. But he doesn't mention any of the other fights in My Hero Academia. I mean, in Hunter x Hunter, where it's entirely based on just winning. Like, it's not anything about just like a spectacle. It's
almost like Gigguk didn't actually pay attention when All Might berated Bakugo for blowing up the entire side of the building because that's dangerous and stupid. It's almost like he didn't even watch the anime. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Moving on.
I said it's dull, okay?
I can't believe it.
Well, this isn't a negative video, I swear.
This isn't a negative video? Okay.
Video. Also, I'd like to take the time to mention that he does not like the Mineta fight for no particular reason other than it's just Mineta, which is some bullshit.
Well, it was after reflecting on the simplicity of the big fights I kept seeing and looking back at the series as a whole, I believe we've been thinking about My Hero Academia the wrong way. With 3 seasons underway, the cast and world thoroughly established, and the identity of what the show actually is about laid out, I would like to propose an idea for you. My Hero Academia is not, first and foremost, a shonen battle series.
I don't like people who say we. Like, I specifically try to exclude the word we as much as possible because I'm just myself, and maybe you are one person, so I just say one usually instead. Like, one person might think this way, but not everyone, not we. I'm not watching this video together with you, Gigguk. I'm not on your side. Stop assuming I am. Please.
At 2 minutes and 40... Oh my god. At 2 minutes and 45 seconds, Gigguk takes a sip of his coffee, and he realizes the existential horror of how little he understands about Shonen. But he decides that because he's already into here, that he's just gotta go full in and not pull out. So,
There's no
I don't
soul
know
in
if
this video.
I don't... Kalopi. Like, I don't want to say this video only exists for money, just because, you know,
well, if
Gigguk,
you're not gonna say that, I will, because he came back to YouTube. He came back to YouTube with, like, I'm gonna start a Patreon, and then it took off. He's like, okay, I'm sticking around. Like, he literally left the anime community, and then came back with, like, oh, so this can be successful now, okay. I see how it is.
I was trying to be nice about it, but okay. It's nice that he follows
I'm being a bit savage. I'm being a bit over dramatic here, but it's fine if he wanted to make videos. But I think the problem is he's not making videos he might necessarily want to make. Like, I feel like this is a bit forced. Just
the primary issue is he's critiquing Boku no Hero without actually taking any of the lessons from the series. So he's like not understanding. But 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We get the bombshell that he thinks we've been thinking, quote unquote, we have been thinking about Shonen Battle series the wrong way, and that My Hero Academia is not a Shonen Battle anime.
I don't know if I can do this video. I don't know if I can react to this anymore. Like, this goes beyond what I was prepared for. Like, can we just like skip over this part and pretend it didn't happen? Because like,
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, Kalopi, this is the bulk of the video.
So the rest of this video is to draw it out over 10 minutes, is what you're saying.
Actually, yes, I was exactly going to say that. And like, we can honestly just skip to like 8 minutes and 30 seconds in. But the thing about what he's saying here is that, okay, he's saying that because My Hero Academia doesn't have over-the-top dramatic fights and big action set pieces like it's a AAA video game, and again, that's not even accurate, so he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But he's saying that because it doesn't have those sort of elements to it, it's not a shonen battle anime. And so I'm just gonna skip to 8 minutes and 30 seconds in, because the rest of this video is basically bullshit. But he says that these he says these are not fights. These are climaxes to character narrative moments that just so happen to involve punching people in the face, paraphrasing more or less. And this, my fucking god. And this just, this doesn't make sense from a writing perspective. It doesn't make sense from a showing perspective. And also, My Hero Academia is not the first shonen to do this. He's not respecting shonen in the least.
Like, I don't know what you just said because I haven't seen this video and what he's actually... But it sounds like he's trying to say that fights are completely separate from the narrative. And
yes,
that's not even true. That's not
yes,
how fights
should
work.
He's saying that shonen inherently involves action for action's sake, and this is not true. So effectively, what Gigguk's mindset is as he goes in the show now. Mathras and Crash Course have railed against the community for this before, and saying that shonen fans only understand 4 shonen. They understand Dragon Ball Z and the big 3, and that's it. They don't understand anything more than big action set pieces. They don't understand
I think Gigguk didn't like Kill la Kill. Like, I think he literally didn't like Kill la Kill, and the reason probably is because he didn't think the fights were good. And it probably goes back to the same thing. He thinks his fights as like Dragon Ball Z fights, where it's just a drawn out fight for the sake of a fight. Like, still, that's not even... There is a narrative of Dragon Ball Z, so that's not even fair, but assuming he's coming at it from that angle, where a fight is like an hour-long fight, just like brawling it out.
Yeah, what he's effectively saying is that, like, he doesn't come to My Hero Academia to, he doesn't come to My Hero Academia fights to enjoy them for the technical aspects of them. And so because of that, and because the only thing he has in his reference frame is Dragon Ball Z and the big 3, and like some people say, like Gigguk has watched a lot of shonen or read a lot of shonen. He hasn't. He just hasn't. He hasn't even. I don't think he scratched the surface of it. Because I'm dedicating my entire rest of the year to this, the rest of the year of watching and reading shonen, and I know for a fact that he has not read nearly as much as anything that you can imagine. He's only watched anything that Crunchyroll promotes. So he's only coming into this with the mindset that shonen are big, loud action set pieces, and because with fancy choreography and everything, and because he's not coming into My Hero Academia for that, and that My Hero Academia's fights rely on the strength of the narrative instead of more so the strength of the fight, which again, not true as we established, because the fights in My Hero Academia are very direct, realistic, and grounded. That we can't consider this a shonen battle anime. And this is it's just mind-blowing how limited his scope of shonen actually is. It's actually kind of painful. And me personally, I don't know about you, Kalopi, but me personally, I've had a lot of grief over this term, battle shonen, because the term itself isn't nothing wrong. It's a shonen with fighting. Makes sense. But shonen itself is a lot of different things, and they all share very, very much the same aesthetic principles. Me and Mr. Idealist, Hunter x Hunter 2011 Dickering Association, we took the time to actually sort of lay out the sort of basic principles amongst shonen.
Yeah, even if it doesn't have a battle, it can still be a shonen simply and share very similar. It's the same thing basically, in the aesthetic wise. Like something as simple as Psyche K is similar to My Hero Academia just by the fact it's shonen. Yeah,
it very much is. It has an aesthetic. And so we just finished the Medaka Blast podcast, right, Kalopi? So how often would you say that My Hero Academia, not My Hero Academia, Medaka Box skips over fights just entirely because they are not thematically relevant, or the point was made in dialogue and he just wants to get the fight over with? How many times would you say that happens?
I'd say it's in the sense that Medaka Box is sometimes deconstructing shonen, I'd say it does it just because it already made the point. It made the point it wanted to make, so the fight's now meaningless.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, the fight suddenly becomes irrelevant because fights are, unlike what Giga thinks, fights are actually to progress the shonen narrative.
It very much goes back to the very classic clashing of ideals, the very clashing of ideals trope that shonen revels in. It's just something inherent to shonen. It's not something that My Hero Academia does exclusively. It's not something specific to any sort of writing standards. It's just something that is. So why is Gigguk approaching it with this incredibly limited mind frame of,
I don't know. It's just odd. Like, his expectations going into this are really just weird. Like,
perhaps
what do you want out of
theory.
the series?
Yeah, perhaps like the classic line is that, you know, people don't want something new. They want the same thing they've seen a million of times, and this is just exactly that. Gigguk doesn't want new shonen. He just wants Naruto again, but good.
Stop. You're not wrong though. Like, honestly, Gigguk doesn't, like, he keeps up only with current anime, but to what extent? Like, is he doing it because he wants to, or because that's where the audience is? And like, I highly doubt he goes back and watches other shonen or anything else really that isn't airing, or that's not one of his favorites. Like, before, like, I'm assuming he just, he likes the big three. Like, anything outside of that is just not shonen to him.
It's just, and so the real question is now. Of course we can probably speculate the reason why he made this video and put it out there. The reason would be probably money, but why are you bringing this to the tape? Okay, Gigguk, you said this was a more or less a ramble. I think that's what he said in his not comment section, description. But he said this was a ramble, and so this could have been a tweet thread. This could have been literally anything else. But you have to understand, Gigguk. You have to understand. I'm talking to you directly now. You have an incredible amount of social clout within the anime community. What you say is going to be taken as, and sometimes is, what is reflective of the wider community as a whole and what we think about this. So why are you trying to limit us to this incredibly narrow definition that only works within your own brain and only serves to not help anyone and just damages like the entire reputation of the show and shonen? Like, this video doesn't help shonen battle or
See, I like a good fight between, I don't know, someone like Digibro and Gigguk. But if this were Digibro, for example, he would have just uploaded this to After Dark, and everyone in the comments would have been like, Digi, you're wrong, and then everyone would have moved on.
But because this is Gigguk, everyone thinks he's correct. Everyone thinks he's correct. And what's worse is that like in his comment section, like you said, it just gives agency to the people who already don't like My Hero Academia or Shonen. So like, people who already didn't like My Hero Academia is just like, oh, well, it's still not doing anything original. So, and also it doesn't have good fights. So why would I watch it? And people who don't like Shonen was like, yeah, it's just more Shonen crap. And now Shonen doesn't have good fights. And it's going to just damage Shonen name, our basic understanding of Shonen, and just sort of everything we've tried to build up and understand about this magazine for forever since we've started doing this.
You see, this video even influences other YouTubers. Like, I already mentioned this, but Alexander was posting on his Twitter that he didn't want to make the Bakugo video because he thought that it was oversaturated. But he wanted to make the videos, and he's actually going to make it. He's going through with it. But what if he didn't? Like, it would have probably been someone like Gigguk's fault, because they're putting out this idea that My Hero Academia isn't as good as it really is meant out to be. But his points aren't even good. So thanks for putting this out in the world.
Philip, do you think we've reached back the joke when My Hero Academia first started editing was that My Hero Academia is the new SAO of analysis videos? Do you think we've hit that point now where people are just saying things for the money and not actually adding anything to the conversation?
I mean, they say that for every anime. It's no different. Like, any currently airing anime is an SAO video. So yeah, what a trick question. What a trick question. You're assuming that My Hero Academia is the new SAO. No, every anime on Crunchyroll is the new SAO.
Oh boy. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Is there anything else we need to cover here?
If anyone's listening to this, please tell me how many things I said that are just like too far, or like I went too far at that point, so I can like maybe tone it down. Just tell me what to tone down in the future, because I'm being a bit savage. I don't know how acceptable this is in this nice, welcoming anime community where everyone
Kalupi, you're a better man. You're You're a better man than I, because I don't. I make no apologies for what I'm doing, for what I've said so far. I don't care if I've attacked him or not. I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering if anyone has any actual complaints.
I hope Asian swaggering fuckboy becomes the new punk bitch motherfucker. But yeah, okay. I think that should about do it.
Is there anything else about this video? Like,
no,
what happens at the end? Does he just wrap up his same point, or is there anything else?
No, it's worthless. Fuck it.